Talking about replayability, one thing that I really loved that you guys included with this game was a comprehensive scenario editor. And I feel like this is a huge addition to the game because once you finish all the scenarios that the game shipped with, you can now go to the forum and actually just download user created scenarios, which definitely increases the amount of time and value of the game. um, One question that I had was, would it be possible to develop a scenario or for like a Pacific War in Panzer Corps 2, or do you feel like um, a Pacific War scenario would need its own game because the mechanics of that would be different than European theater?
Well, I think that the current engine it should work for Pacific, definitely, because I mean, even for Panzer One, there were several, I think, mods which um, implemented like Pacific theater campaigns, and naval rules in Panzer Corps were slightly less advanced than in the sequel, like for example, ships did not support each other in any meaningful way, and submarines could not switch between like submerged and surface states and so on. So it was even more simplistic there, but still it worked reasonably well. I think people liked those campaigns. So I definitely think it's doable. And if you look at Pacific General as well, that old game we mentioned before, it was also quite similar. They did have some advanced rules related to like special damage ships did to each other, like you know, um, damaging hull or propellers or turrets, whatever. It was an interesting twist, but it didn't it did not add much. Um, so it's definitely possible. However, when we actually get to Pacific, I would like to give another look to naval rules in particular because um, I wanted to do it since ever. I had this idea that Panzer Corps 2 should be three games in one. So you can play your land warfare, air warfare, and naval warfare completely like on their own, and uh, any of them would be interesting. But I think we are not quite there. And the reason, one reason is just naval warfare has a very small place in the German campaign. You literally don't have many scenarios which even have ships in them. And that's why during the beta, during testing, we did not really test naval rules all that much. And it was never a priority because of that. So I definitely want to give it another look.
Would that require its own game, or is that something like a DLC can provide?
Yes, it's definitely a DLC level of content because all rules which will be changed or added, they are not going to conflict with content which already exists. Only this content will become slightly more interesting to play as well. And it's not just about the Pacific, because I want to create, for example, a random map type which is more focused on naval warfare, maybe some single scenarios which could use similar approach. So I definitely see it all as part of the same series. And to be honest, I don't see us creating another like a completely separate game for Second World War in the near future, simply because I think that the new engine has a lot of potential, which we need to like exploit, unlock, and we don't really need a whole new game.
That's amazing. I'm very excited. That really excites me because it's basically one game to rule them all. So if I want to play European theater or Pacific theater, I could just do it with one game. That's amazing.
That's the plan. Yeah.